Coming up on this episode of The Village Idiom.
You just burned like 40 calories.
Gotta commit. Don't forget we have a YouTube channel. Don't wonder why I'm panting now.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week chooses a popular saying to take a shallow but hopefully comedic and once in a while even interesting dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But also we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm Liquid Plumber.
What?
I don't know. I got nothing.
Every time.
Just plain old skinny.
I should see them.
I'm getting fatter by the minute.
What are you talking about?
Well, maybe not by the exact minute, but I'm feeling it. I've already been into the eggnog. It's only October.
I saw a cinnamon eggnog being advertised. It was non-alcoholic cinnamon eggnog, but sponsored by
Sleeman's?
No, what's the cinnamon?
Mike's Hard Eggnog.
No, Fireball.
Fireball. Oh,
so sponsored by
McGillicuddy
Fireball
or whatever.
Yeah. So it says it was non-alcoholic, but it's like if you want the real thing, add your cinnamon whiskey to this.
So crazy.
But I haven't seen it in stores.
No, so just plain old eggnog and shortbread. It's only October, but I can smell it in the air.
You had shortbread?
I haven't had shortbread. I've had eggnog.
I got into, so every year my dad makes fruitcake, and we all get a loaf of fruitcake, and it goes in the freezer because it's amazing.
Because it's flammable.
Yeah. Anyway, my son hadn't touched his, and I saw it sitting there this week.
Did you take it?
I'm like, oh, it's fruitcake time. He sees me eating it, and I'm like, this is your fruitcake, but it's October. Excuse me. It's October, and that's 10 months of you not eating it. Mm-hmm. I'm eating it. He goes, yeah, fair enough. Oh, it's good stuff.
It's good. Well, it's like you die it once, you die it twice. It doesn't quite pan out, but
you die once, die it twice.
Die it twice, die once. Maybe it'll work out the next time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that leads us to this. Please work, because I didn't set this up right. Oh, man. Is that what it was?
Try that again.
All right.
Passion as he searched for true love.
Listen
and
for
relive
it.
Biff's happiest moment, as in 1973 he
Go
realized
Biff.
his lifelong romantic dream by
Here it is.
marrying his high school sweetheart, Lorraine Baines McFly.
Oh, there.
Oh, you talked over it.
What?
You talked over the line when Biff, who married McFly's mom, and he says to the camera, "Third time's a charm."
Third time's the charm. You know what? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was in a Zoom call today, or whatever, video, whatever you say, with the Zooms and the internet.
Yeah.
And this guy was wearing a red vest. And so I have a red vest, and every time I wear the red vest, my friends all come at me with like the, "Hey, McFly."
Oh, like the puffy
red vest.
orange, right?
Marty McFly. And so I don't know this guy on the Zoom, and so I was going to just private message him, like, "Hey, McFly," or whatever, and send a link. But when I went to look up the picture, McFly was wearing this blue-black checkered shirt.
Sure, yeah.
Underneath. This guy was wearing a blue-black checkered shirt underneath.
Oh, man.
With the red thing.
So it was intentional?
And so, yeah, I'm like, "Hey, Eric." I don't know this guy. He's like, LOL. Any reference to Marty McFly is a compliment. So,
sure.
Hey, yeah. McFly, third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. So we missed the line in the clip there, but third time's a charm, and tried to find our initial clip to come out of a trilogy, just to keep it in the
to get
threes.
A third? Nice.
But this is my question for you.
Sure.
Third time's a charm. We'll get to the meaning, origins, blah blah blah. But can you think of a trilogy where the third one's the best one? Because I think there's a reason they never go to four. What would a four package like if?
That's a good question.
Trilogy. 3 is a trilogy. Exactly.
Wow. No, I really enjoyed Matrix 3.
Yeah, but more than the first one?
No.
The only one I could think of, but it wasn't a trilogy, the only one I could think of where the third movie was the best, in my opinion, was Rocky. With Mr. T and
Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hulk Hogan's in that. But other than that, is there a third movie that was the best one?
I don't know. It's a hard thing. Usually
it's the reason they stop after 3.
Right. And if the first one is good enough, they'll suck you into watching the second one, but they have to have the third to tie it up, because usually the second one is worse, like almost virtually every time.
Well, in Back to the Future's case, which we just heard a clip from, the second one, the third one is the worst.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't remember the order now. Which one is the Western one? Is that the last one?
That's a great question.
Anyway.
Hello.
We should have stopped at 1.
Yeah. Well, I cut off the thing because we get hit
Finally.
with the YouTube strike. If it's past 7 seconds without some sort of talking,
that you were talking over it. Yeah, no, I know why you do it, but I'm like, here it is.
And that's why I was doing it. And
what is it? Is it 7? Is there an actual
about
magic
7
number?
seconds. I don't know if it's an actual magic number.
That's good to keep in mind when I pick my
So that
clips.
when we were talking last week with our friend Chris in there, and it had that Ric Flair thing that goes on for like about 15 seconds, and then it's like, boom, this is striked.
Did it get striked?
Yeah. So it gets
even that kind of thing.
Yes. And
So it's not music or famous actors.
I had to cut part of it out to keep it under the timeline so that the algorithm didn't pick it up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's why I'm talking randomly. That's what's going on.
So we could play
in
this
the tech
one.
side.
We could play
sure,
this
let's
one.
go.
Third time really was the charm for me.
Well, that's John Malkovich.
Oh yeah, nice. There's no missing whose voice that is.
It's so good. Third time's
a charm. So by definition, when you use expression third time's a charm, by the way, do you say third time's a charm or third time's the charm?
Third time's a charm. A charm. I don't know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
it's about 50-50 out there, but I wonder if it's third time's the charm, but it's easier to roll off the tongue. Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
I think maybe you are saying the even when you don't.
Third time's
Third time's a charm. Third time's the charm.
Well, when we were looking into it, it's kind of got an interesting meaning in that it's kind of used in the vernacular of you try, maybe it didn't go so good. You try again, doesn't go so good.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's the charm. You'll get it on the third time. And so I started looking up things related to practice, just practicing of anything, if third time is a charm.
Okay.
Like, so it was like, if, try it once, whatever, try it again. You get a little better. Oh, don't worry, you'll get it on the third time. And so when I looked it up, a couple of interesting things.
Well, Biff there was given the example of marriage.
Well,
third time's the charm.
In that vein, when I looked up for third time's the charm, it immediately popped up with a news article. Sean Penn's been married twice and is marrying again. Let's hope third time's the charm.
Funny.
Yeah. And so it was often a negative.
Was it? Do you know? Who did he marry? Was that the long-lasting?
I have no idea. It wasn't Madonna. And the next one through is Tampa Bay hopes to eliminate Astros. I'm thinking third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like this optimistic, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And by the definition that I jotted down, it says when you use the expression third time's a charm, you mean that the third time something is attempted, luck is sure to result. But it's also odds, right? If you flip a penny,
Eventually.
it's like, okay, I call heads, it's tails. I call heads, it's tails. The odds
Third
are.
time's the charm. The odds are next time it's still 50%.
So the phrase is also used as an actual good luck charm that you say before you attempt something the third time.
Sure.
So you
That
say
sounds
it-
good.
Yeah, you say it before.
So, but it's an optimistic thing.
Yeah.
So the next part of the research, what I found interesting, was in Psychology Today, and I don't want to mess this up. So,
Are we in origins or not really?
No.
Okay.
No, but it was right. It's related to this idea that if I do something, if I practice something again and again, I'll get better. Third time's the charm. Finally, you'll get it. Just keep at it. Third time's the charm. Doesn't even have to be the third time. It's just third time's the charm. Just keep at it. You'll get it. Psychology Today. The average correlation between hours of practice and performance was like this percentage or this ratio of 0.35. This means that overall deliberate practice explained around a 12% increase in the variance of performance. So to put that into just into the lay talk, practice. So they said, if you put in enough hours of repetition at something, you can sort of get better at it. So they're like,
Right.
Practice does not make perfect. Practice at most accounted for 12%, averaged out across their varying fields that they looked at it, whether it was sports or education.
For the third time to be the charm, there has to be a certain, again, going back to odds, there has to be a certain average or odds or whatever that you could have done it on the first try. Like it's not like third piano lesson.
No.
And you're look at me.
They weren't even saying third times. They were saying overall of practicing something that practice did not make perfect. That you just
what
can't.
about the whole 10,000 hour?
That you just couldn't just keep willing yourself to get better at something.
But if it's
Just keep
flipping
practicing.
a coin or if it's shooting a basket or if it's
You can keep
where there's
if
there is
the
a chance
inclinations
you've
aren't
never
there.
tried this before, but you could get it on your first time.
Sure.
Then the odds are third time's a charm.
Yeah, and then there's entire things where you can keep at it all you want, and you suck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like people who, it's like, oh, if you just keep practicing your art, you'll get it. It's like, maybe. So they're suggesting that on average you would get 12% better just through sheer practice.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It wasn't just like, just stick your mind to something and you will ace it eventually.
The rabbit trail I went down for a little while was just about the number 3. So not so much third time, but how many things come in threes? So like
Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
that, yeah, Trinity. Now this is going to seem
Salt and pepper, paprika.
super trivial after starting with the Trinity, but like the 3 little pigs, the 3 little bears, the 3
Blind mice.
blind mice, like it goes on and on and on. And then I thought about Third Time's a Charm being, this is without looking into origins or whatever, and I'm like, that's not that, like if you use those 2 examples, 3 little pigs, it's like this house is made of straw, this is made of wood, this one's made of brick, end of story.
This one's just right.
This
this
too
house-
soft, too hard, just right. And even in normal conversation, you're like, you know how I like my pizza? I like it like this, not like this, not like this, right here.
Right.
And so you naturally give
Not
3
so much here, Tommy Boy reference. Not so much here or here,
See?
but this region.
Third time's a charm. You
so
use 2
funny.
examples to describe what the
When you
third
get
thing
smacked
actually
in the
is.
face with a 2x4.
Yeah.
The idea of searching down into the category of 3 led me to 3 is the magic number.
Right.
And so Schoolhouse Rock.
I found it. I didn't.
Oh, is it one of the things?
No, I didn't line it up. But
it was in my lookings at it, it was 3. Well, 3 is the magic number. I'm like, oh, what's that? And so Blind Melon,
they did that song.
that was them. Did 3 is the magic number?
They did it for Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes.
No.
And so I'm like, no. And so I went and looked it up. Yes. Blind Melon did 3 is the magic number
For Schoolhouse Rock.
for Schoolhouse Rock.
No
You can look
way.
it off the Schoolhouse Rock page.
Wow.
That's Blind Melon in there.
How many members of Blind Melon? Say 3.
3.
See?
Is there?
I
It's,
don't
it's
know.
always, it's like Green Day.
3 blind mice, blind melon. There's
Yeah,
only 3 types of melons.
Yeah, then Shannon Hoon, the lead singer, died of a drug overdose in 1995. So there you go. Just to end it on a nice
that's
positive. Yeah. 3 hits of crack for everyone. 3, not the magic number.
Third time was harm.
3, yeah, poor Shannon.
Oh, it's too bad.
Ended with a drug overdose after epic Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah,
Like that was one of their last things.
was one of the final things. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
3 is the magic mushroom, and that's
I
how
don't
he
know. I
died.
just feel that's a terrible way to go, but Schoolhouse Rock was epic in our day.
Totally.
3
yeah.
is the magic number.
Yeah. Okay. Before we do get into origins, I've got some fact checking to do.
Okay.
Our faithful, illegitimate children out there contacting us when we make an error, whatever. So we made an error. Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. We said, "What's that Hitman John Cusack movie?" And I said, "Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels." Incorrect. It is Gross Point Blank.
Oh, interesting.
So thank you, RD Squared.
Nice.
For that. And then he also, when we were, I posed the question. I said, "Is there any swear words that have happened in our generation, or is it all old?" Yeah, he pointed one out. I can't share it.
Right.
I'm not going to share it,
Right.
but
We-
there are some.
Okay. Well, thanks, RD Squared.
Yeah.
For
I just
the
like,
little fact check
I just
there.
like when we get
Keeping us on the up and up.
communication and know that you guys are out there playing
RD
along.
Squared. Send us in a message. If you are not a HelloFresh person, we will send you a free box of HelloFresh. You just have to cover some of your own tax stuff. It ends up being $10-13. But yeah, HelloFresh, one of our
So again, what do they have to do?
message in. You can message direct message us in at the Village Idiom podcast at gmail.com.
And what do they get?
it's a HelloFresh box. And so it's like a 1 week thing. It's not 1 week. It's like 3 days or whatever. HelloFresh. And if you don't have an account, if you have an account already, then too bad, so sad. But thanks for supporting HelloFresh. But,
So it's a free trial.
But it's a free trial.
All right, got
Yeah,
it. So if you aren't familiar
Artie
with
Squared.
HelloFresh,
Artie Squared, we appreciate it. Keeping it real.
so is he getting it or starting now?
Message us back.
Oh,
And-
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this for the first time, so I'm like, I'm the one asking questions. What? How do they get it? I want that. I've got that.
Yeah, if you're not-
HelloFresh is dinner solved. We've talked about it a lot and how much we're happy with it. I made a home style chicken stew with dumplings.
That sounds.
Oh my goodness. Everything comes pre-measured in the box, step-by-step instructions that even a monkey like me can follow and pull off a fantastic dinner. And speaking of coming in threes, we get 3 meals a week. And that week, Third Time was a charm. That chicken stew with dumplings was unbelievable.
We've gone to 3 meals every second week is where I'm at.
Oh, yeah? Alternating? Skipping weeks?
Alternating weeks. Yeah, there's all sorts
Busy
of
schedules.
There's all sorts of ways that you can jump in and support with HelloFresh. So yeah, Artie Squared, jump in, send us a message, and if you don't have a HelloFresh account, then we'll hook you up with a free box.
Sounds good. Well, my friend, you know what time it is.
Let's do it.
Speaking of RD Squared,
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
You just burned like 40 calories.
gotta commit. Don't forget we have a YouTube channel to wonder why I'm panting now. And why Skinny is choking.
We encourage people to listen on the podcast, but if you're a vodcaster, jump in on youtube.com/3 minutes gone.
Well, that little jingle of origins reminds us that it is time for the dirty and the nerdy origins to today's idiom, third time's a charm. So the origin of this phrase is probably as ancient as things that come in sets of 3 have often been associated with good luck, to this similarity of, I don't know if I believe this one, but anything that comes in 3s tends to have some loose tie to the Trinity. We talked about it briefly, but there is something magic about the number 3, and most scholars think that's their go-to. This one, it's probably not likely, but it is out there as a potential tie-in to the Holy Trinity. It's the perfect number. Number 3, 333, third time's a charm. To tie in luck and charm with the Trinity seems very sacrilegious, but
yes. So the one I love the thought of 3 categories: past, present, future.
Yeah. Wow.
And then in the sense
Me,
of
myself,
time,
and I.
Me, myself, and I. But yeah, so there's lots of existential inside of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's good. Yeah. So there's not a direct lineage from the Trinity to this idiom, obviously, but thought I'd mention it right out of the gate. The first time a similar phrase was seen in print is in 1839 in Elizabeth Barrett Browning's work, Letters Addressed to R.H. Horne. And it says this: the luck of the third adventure is proverbial. So not on the nose, but it's got luck, it's got third, and the fact that it's saying it's proverbial means it predates that.
So did you catch the Greek one?
No,
there was some.
I don't think so. Tell me.
So and even it was debated, because this came across in the weird research. This idea of third time lucky from Charmides by Plato, and Socrates says third time lucky, but the footnotes explain the third cup of wine of a libation or some sort of alcoholic drink. The third cup of wine was dedicated to Zeus. To drink the third cup,
Dr. Zeus.
Was to drink the third cup was to pray for good luck.
Really?
Yeah. So this was this Greek, and then but someone goes in and says, "I'm going to call balderdash on your thing," and so they have the Greek text that then they'd go on and do a translation of, which the translation more accurately says, "Once more then, I said, as our third to the Savior." And so it was referencing
Still about the
contextually, but it was
third.
a third to our Savior.
Not about luck.
No, so it was relation to the drink, which
Yeah.
doesn't include in that particular text. But the exact quote is a third to our Savior. The third to our Savior. Yeah. So
There you go.
So it was drinking a third.
I actually didn't come across that.
drinking the third cup was for Zeus. Yep.
So that would predate all of that I have discovered. Another appearance of the number 3 in line with luck appears in Alexander Hislop's The Proverbs of Scotland, 1862, and this one's just 3 words: third time's lucky. That's pretty close.
That's right on the
Some
nose.
sources suggest that it's inspired by the Old English law, wherein anyone who survived 3 hangings would be set free. Did you stumble across this?
No, but that seems fair.
Yeah. So
You have to survive the third one.
So if you
you've
survive
survived the
the three,
first one.
you're just set free. So this law comes from the story of John Babacombe Lee, who was convicted of murder. He was sentenced to hang at Exeter Prison, but all 3 attempts to hang him failed. They let him go.
That's
He
crazy.
just didn't die.
Reminds me of like Ashley Judd in Double Jeopardy, where you can't be tried twice
Yeah.
for the same crime.
Totally. That was
Like,
the
we
first
can't-
time
we
I
can't hang
understood
you.
Double Jeopardy.
We can't
was
hang
that
you
movie.
again. Huh.
Yeah. So,
But surviving 3 hangings, like you must have this crazy.
you already have charm, my friend.
Yeah, or just ripped deltoids. Like,
So yeah, there is
or no neck.
There's some sources that say that's where it comes from. Is this real story of John Lee, who 3 failed attempts and he was set free. One more religious but less likely suggested
He
origin.
was 11 feet long afterwards, or tall,
yeah, exactly.
stretched out like a bean.
That's funny. Yeah, what did he?
He got
go
through the second and third time because he could touch the ground from when instead of dangling there, he was so stretched that his foot was able to perch off of the earth below.
Just like those rings to stretch your neck, African rings,
Right.
but
Just like that.
old-fashioned noose. Let's go back even further. Shakespeare's *The Merry Wives of Windsor*, 1602, says, "Pray thee." Oh, I should. Oh, I
Think
should
you can get there?
Pray thee more the prattling, go I'll hold. This is the 3rd time. Oh, I got Australian at the end there. This is the 3rd time.
It's the third time, mate.
I hope
Throw
good luck
another
lies.
shrimp
It
on the
says, I
barbie.
hope good luck lies in odd numbers. Away go. They say there is divinity in odd numbers, and he's talking about third luck in. So there's still a tie in there.
It's like Steve Irwin trying to grab a manta ray and saying, "Well, 3rd time's a charm."
Why all these deaths today?
It's not true, Steve.
The lucky version, The Port Admiral by William Johnston Neal, 1833-ish, says, again, boys, again, once more they struck it. The splinters of the oak fell among them, but it yielded not. 3rd time's lucky. Now again. But no, it remained firm. So it was said, different words, but it's the same. It's been a thing for at least a few hundred years.
So I do have a challenge, and perhaps you could jump in on this idea of luck versus fate, or foreknowledge or predestination. Saying it comes from, because there's a Trinity, saying that it's a Bible reference, which Trinity, like as a word, isn't even biblical conceptually, sure.
Yeah.
But saying, yeah, 3rd time's a charm. I don't know. It just doesn't wash with me.
That it would come from.
It doesn't seem.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem. I mean, there's a lot of 3, the number 3 referenced in the Bible for different reasons.
I'm trying to think of one more.
Related to the number 3, Christ rose 3rd day.
3rd day. There you go. Okay, got me on that one.
So other than that,
Other than that little detail of Christianity. Right.
funny.
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah. So let's see. Oh, so wrap up our origins with this one. Another possible origin for this phrase hails from the common folk believe. You can tell I'm reading someone else's words here. In perseverance. So you know the saying, try, and try again.
Faith, hope, and love,
Oh, there you go.
or charity in some readings.
That's right.
Continue.
The 3 disciples, the 3 wise men,
The 3 wise men, the 3 disciples.
the 3 that mattered. So the saying
There were an inner 3.
there were.
There were an inner 3. Peter, James, and John.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, you got me. All right, there are some 3s in the Bible.
Try, and try again is a common saying. And so there is some suggest that it comes from that. But all it's really saying is it's suggesting that try once is not enough. Trying twice is not enough. Try one more time. 4 times is
the research
too much.
would show that
5 is right out.
The research would show from Psychology Today that if you are at it 1 time and it doesn't work, 2 times and it doesn't work, 3 times, it just might not be your thing.
Yeah. Do you want to keep doing this? That's funny. Yeah, so that is Origins that I could scrape from the bottom of the barrel for the Third Time's a Charm.
Third time is a charm. Well, that is some factual good tidbits there, so that
Factual good
you can come
tidbits.
right off of listening to the podcast, go right into the office, and start spouting some of these things to let people know how educated you are.
Right?
So good on you. So good on you.
That's right.
Well, we should probably we're heading into the tail end, or the third act, as we like to refer to it, of the podcast with some riddlings. What we got there?
You want to do it? All right. Well, Riddling is a game we like to play that is a 2-part trivia-based question and requires a 2-part but overlapping answer. So, for example, last week we did what Groundhog Day character said, hey, now, don't tell me you don't remember me because I sure as heck I remember you, but was born on a British naval ship. So the first part was Ned Ryerson, one of the characters of Groundhog Day. And the second part was the idiom that week, son of a gun. So the correct answer is Ned Ryerson of a gun.
Awesome.
There you go.
I love it. Okay, well, let's jump in on something applicable to today.
All right.
They sang 3 is the magic number to Portia de Rossi's wife.
They sang 3. Okay, so Blind Melon DeGeneres?
That's it.
Blind Melon DeGeneres. I like it.
There you go.
All right, this is going to test your brain here.
All right.
Played by Jim Backus. Yeah, I was scared you wouldn't know that name. This character was a millionaire stuck on a desert isle with his wife Lovey and found success upon trying thrice.
Well, I got Thurston Howell in there somewhere.
Yeah. You know his full name. There's a little bit more to his name.
Oh, Thurston Howell, the Third.Times.A.Charm.
That's it.
That's hilarious. I didn't know his name, but Lovey gave it up there. Oh, good stuff. Okay. Maybe you'll get it after a second try, even though you're just baking soda.
Maybe you'll get it after a second try, even though you're just baking soda. Third time's a... Oh, is it Third Time's a Charm and Hammer?
Third.Times.A.Charm and Hammer.
That's funny.
Man,
That is
good for
great.
you. You're slaying. You're on it today, buddy.
I like that one. Third time's a harm and... Oh, I can't say it. I can never say it again. I should just stop.
That's all good.
Okay, well, I've got one more, but why don't you tell our illegitimate children exactly how they can get in touch with us and play along? Because I want you
Please.
to not answer this one.
Please get a hold of us at the Village Idiom podcast at gmail.com, or other ways that you can do that include Instagram
Wow.
at the.village.idiom, or you can send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube at 3 Minutes Gone.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
In 1993, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls had a nickname for this third straight championship with Inspector Clouseau.
I love it. Well, it's been fun putting that together, and that has been 3 Minutes Gone.
Beautiful.
Was that close to 3 minutes?
Yeah, we were short.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
It's all good. We'll just play it at 0.8 speed.
That'll work. Well, it was fun putting today's episode together.
Of course.
We had fun doing it. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Skinny.
I am Jurassic, and the number of the counting shall be 3. Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
That's 3 minutes gone.